Take the name and the person out of the equation.
That's
this
simple. Call him
behaviour.
Mr. A. Call him Mr. A.
Yeah,
Stand up in Parliament and say there is a person with a civil conviction in a Category B prison that is being denied access to friends, family, which all the other prisoners are. He's got very limited food. He's in segregation. I mean, what? A person, an individual, forget who it is.
Those that are spreading lies and misinformation as far and as wide as possible. They're not interested in victims. They're interested in themselves. Those who are cheerleading Tommy Robinson, not interested in justice. They're supporting a man who went to prison for nearly collapsing a grooming case, a gang grooming case. These are people who are trying to get some kind of vicarious thrill from street violence that people like Tommy Robinson promote.
Tommy Robinson's imprisonment has become a focal point of intense debate in the UK, raising serious concerns about prison conditions, free speech, and human rights. Reports from HM Prison Woodhill suggest that Robinson, whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon, is being held in solitary confinement for up to 21 hours a day. His supporters argue that he is being subjected to unusually harsh treatment with limited access to food, fresh air, and communication with his family. Critics claim that his confinement is a deliberate attempt to break him mentally and physically, sparking renewed discussions on the ethical treatment of prisoners. In a recent audio message recorded from inside the prison, Robinson detailed the extreme conditions he faces. He described being placed in a tiny cell with little human interaction, denied access to basic necessities, and forced to survive on minimal food supplies such as crisps and tinned tuna. According to his claims, he was recently punished for speaking with his son on a monitored phone call, leading to additional sanctions, including having his family's phone number blocked and being barred from purchasing food from the prison canteen for a week. These restrictions, he argues, have left him malnourished and struggling to maintain his health. The psychological and physical toll of prolonged isolation has long been documented by human rights organisations, with experts warning that it can lead to severe anxiety, depression, hallucinations, and cognitive decline. Physically, the lack of movement and poor diet can contribute to muscle atrophy, weakened immunity, and cardiovascular problems. Many of Robinson's supporters believe that his treatment amounts to political persecution, while others argue that the actions taken against him are disproportionate even for someone convicted of contempt of court. Robinson's case has gained further attention following the intervention of high-profile figures such as Elon Musk, who has publicly criticised the UK government over the situation. Musk has called for Robinson's release, accusing the authorities of unjustly punishing him and attempting to silence dissenting voices. On the other hand, Prime Minister Keir Starmer has firmly opposed any sympathetic portrayal of Robinson, emphasising that his imprisonment is a legal matter, not a political one. Starmer recently condemned Robinson's supporters, pointing out that he was convicted for actions that nearly derailed a high-profile grooming gang trial. Starmer's remarks highlight the government's stance on distancing itself from figures associated with far-right extremism and ensuring that legal violations are addressed without bias. Robinson's case has reignited broader discussions about free speech, the role of the justice system, and whether certain individuals are subjected to harsher punishments due to their political views. His supporters argue that his imprisonment is a direct attack on free expression, claiming that he is being treated as a political prisoner for his outspoken views. Conversely, critics argue that his conviction was based on clear legal grounds, including contempt of court and defamation, and that framing him as a victim of political persecution is misleading. Despite the controversy, there is no concrete evidence that Prime Minister Keir Starmer has directly intervened in Robinson's prison conditions. The management of UK prisons falls under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Justice and His Majesty's Prison Service, ensuring that legal and penal decisions operate independently of political influence. However, the public outcry over Robinson's treatment suggests a growing perception that certain figures may be targeted differently within the system, fueling debates on the fairness of UK prison policies. As Robinson continues to serve his 18-month sentence for contempt of court, his treatment remains a contentious issue. The debate over whether he is facing justified legal consequences or excessive punitive measures will likely continue to divide public opinion. The case serves as a litmus test for the UK's approach to balancing law enforcement, prisoner rights, and freedom of expression, with implications that extend beyond Robinson himself. Whether his imprisonment is a necessary measure to uphold the rule of law or a politically motivated crackdown on dissent remains a question at the heart of this ongoing controversy.